Greetings. Greetings. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Oh. Oh, wonderful. I think your Twitch is currently live with the same thing as well. Or sooner at least. Interesting. Ravilla's still in. It's made it through. just put this T back. What happened to the game yesterday? Did it get played in the end, or was it Well, fair enough. It's only one way to do it. Good. Doing good. Been chilling out. Not up to a ton. School sign up next week, so that'll be fun. Well, I kind of started this week, but not fully. All right. So the side is going to be Oregon. Interesting. Should I fill my water real quick? Be right back. So just waiting on the last two members. One from each team. Oh no, two members of 7 senses to join. Okay. Microphone just a touch closer. A bit clearer for all of you. Oh, wow. Oh, and someone has left the lobby. I'm sure it's just a slight problem. I'm going to go back on schedule in just a second. Well, apparently so. What happens if you don't add a B on the end? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, to see if it's a speed run or if we're going to get similar to the old Valhalla MSG absolute phenomenon of a 44 round match. Starting with Coastline. So, should be an interesting showing from both these teams. Coastline obviously being much more of a fragger paradise. So it's a little bit easier to roam clear for some of the less coordinated teams. So we're interested to see if that has a factor and if we can see the differences between map 1 and map 2 should that seem to be a problem. But I have faith that these teams are well prepared for their matchups today, and whilst not being able to gather enough or a lot of information about their opponents, I'm sure they'll be able to put together their own game plan and pose a real threat to each other today. We're just waiting now on one last player before the game can get underway. Those of you here so far, sure it'll be a fantastic game, but who is going to win? That is the real question. If you type !poll in the chat, the first link you see, you'll be taken to the straw poll for today's matchup. If you want to make your predictions for who will win, for the bragging rights, if you're right. It's an interesting one. So we are up and away, and the first ban is going to come in from Seven Senses, and it's going to be the Ash taken off the board. Ash is a very prominent operator in Rainbow Six. It's also surprisingly useful at the moment with the amount of destructible gadgets that are available, and with the Jaeger Wamai combo being highly prevalent. Now, as she has the 3 flashbangs and an explosive, one of the only operators that can clear away the ADSs by herself before using her own explosives. It's going to be the Jackal and then the Echo taken off the board. Echo, another commonly banned operator, very annoying with his invisible yokai drones. The loss of the ACOG makes him slightly less scary at the longer ranges, but that 1.5x on the MP5 SD is still very scary to go up against. And the Melusi, the new operator, now allowed as is Ace, but Melusi, very frustrating. The 3 Wob Wob charges, as they've been nicknamed, but they will no longer be in play, so nothing for the attackers to worry about. Hookah Billiards coming out as the first sight, the most common one to come out. The fairly standard team composition so far from the defenders, at least. The attackers bringing out that ace, whipping him out in the first round already. The change from Maestro onto Maestro and Habana onto Habana both coming in. Very interesting changes.
Bombs from being defused by attackers.
And I've been interested to see how the pooled reinforcements allows operators like Wamai and Vigil to do a lot of the hard work in preparing the walls on the site, while operators like Jaeger and Smoke can focus on making the rotates for his teammates. You know, so there's a little bit of contention between the Maestro and the Smoke as to who's going to be getting that specific wall, but they've come past that issue now. As the Vigil's just watching for drones, taking out a few already. That's a nice start. A little bit of a downstairs presence from the defenders. Seven Senses clearly want to try and have some presence downstairs so that their vertical play isn't going to be quite as prevalent. People often forget that there are a couple of ledges you can vault on top of to actually use the sledgehammer to hit away at the floor of the hookah site, such as standing on the sofas in the pink bar or on the desk inside of blue bar. You can actually vault up onto that and smack the floor from below. You can even go onto that desk right next to Vigil there, which will actually give you a nice little sledge sightline onto the bar in Sunrise. In Aqua. So that's a little fun one for you guys. Making a very early push towards the hookah balcony. Good use of the mirror windows. That's going to be the first magnet catching the explosive, or the Selma charge, sorry. So that's just going to go off on the floor. Was it tracks? Interesting use of a breaching charge to get that wall open, the door open, sorry, but sometimes that's just what you need to do. If you can hear the Habana pellets going off, and that's going to cut down the Wamai's escape routes. They're going to have a nice line of sight onto him from there. The Smoke still tucking in, quite nice and comfy. Going to make good use of those his toxic babes, but the Maestro will take up the IQ and fall quickly into the site. That's going to be a lot of damage down onto the Habana, who will be injured by the Smoke just outside, and the toxic babe will secure the second kill of the game, both in favor of Seven Senses now. As there is coming down to the last minute of the round, another set of Trax mines caught by the magnet coming out through that window, but it's going to cut off the sight line, and that is the main aim of a smoke grenade, so it will not be too much of a problem. I believe we're down to only one smoke grenade left. or Toxic Babe on the smoke, but that's going to be the SMG in hand, taking out the ace and the shotgun. Going to finalize the kill. This is Vigilant. Gridlock, neutral flexing that G2 skin, but he actually cancels the lean and goes back into the wall, and that's going to be devastating miss. The Gridlock spraying through with her F90. And she's now left in a 1v5 as the sledge also fell earlier, just before. But it's going to be 20 seconds for the team to talk about what went wrong and try and correct some mistakes before they go into their next round. The SFG-12 in hand. There's going to be Gridlocks trying to challenge the fight. Vigil knows. Crouched in the corner, but gonna miss a couple shots. But the 34 bullets in the magazine gonna save him on that one. So this round we'll be setting up for the kitchen service. It's going to be the same lineup coming out from the defense. A little bit of a change, bringing the Nomad and the Buck, as well as the Zofia. So a couple of change ups. No longer valuing the tracks as much as they do those air jabs. And I think it's an interesting change, but I like to see the Goyo coming out here instead of the Maestro. The Maestro obviously has a lot of utility with his cameras. But there's definitely some value behind these Goyo shields. The fact that they're just two more, essentially, place and put mirror windows, as well as giving that, the bulletproof cover, as well as the explosive that can be really utilized. There's going to be 4 deployable shields on the side of the defense from this one.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yes, up and running.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Somebody picks it, but we're back now, so it's all good. So the approach is going to come from the pool side this time, trying to take control of maybe that top floor. You see the Zofia making a move towards the hookah. I realize the go downstairs in pink bar, so isn't going to be a problem right now, but if they aren't able to clear out that space, it's going to leave them a little bit vulnerable in the back when they try to make their final push. The Vigil still undetected on the top floors. The drones are coming through, so maybe they'll be able to root him out in just a second. No one looks like they're in a position to really put pressure on him, so if they're not careful, he'll just fall back to another area of the map and cause a couple more problems. But no mind, spraying down through the window now, just trying to get some sideline, trying to remove those magnets so she can put an air jab and try and deny a little bit of movement by the defense. The opening kill goes to Chemical this round, and that's going to be the Goyo down. So the threat that we were talking about on that roam, not really going to be as much of a problem anymore, and that's the pink bar control instantly secured as another quick kill comes out for the ace, a double on the round to avenge his fallen teammate, Coco. The smoke of Thomas going to quickly shut down that ace who was pushing right through the site. And I think there's a mistake going a little bit too deep rather than just taking the control you've already got and using that to get a plant going down. But it's going to be the Zofia and the Buck moving very quickly into the kitchen now, and they're going to hold down that door. Oh, and as I say that, it's going to be the Vigil finding a quick kill and Smoke finding his second. That's a double kill for him, leaving the Habana in a 1v3 again. This round just really slipped away from them. They weren't really able to coordinate properly to get a nice plant down when they had the site control, and now they've lost out. Couple shots coming out from the Jaeger, repping G2 skin once again, but that's going to be the end of the round. Right, so the defense were really having some problem clearing out parts of the map. They were able to get that pink bar control from the Goyo, but I think that was really just more to a nice bit of gunplay from the Ace rather than team coordination. You could see on the top floor that the Vigil was standing inside of the theater, but the drones were coming through, but there was no one following up on that drones or no one holding that the fullback site. What you could try and do maybe something to change is have someone playing on the window at the top of the white stairs,
Defenders, protect
and
your
that way, when
bombs
the
from
Vigil
being
tries to
defused
run
by
backwards,
attackers.
as well as someone on the roof to watch the VIP corridor, and when he tries to fall back, he's going to have to take one of those gunfights. And honestly, you're not going to have a wonderful time taking those gunfights, as the attackers have a lot more space to move around and change up their angle and catch you unaware.
Bomb located by attackers.
But nothing to worry about too much now. With the addition of a group stage, it means you've got a couple games to get your feet in, and this is only map 1 with the first 2 rounds. So it could just be a
10
little bit of
seconds
nerves
to
or a little bit of
insertion.
uncertainty of what they're doing, and they'll warm up and get into it
5 seconds
in
remaining.
just a moment. But it's an interesting setup coming out here. Is the wall in
Attackers are
VIP
heading out to defuse a
reinforced?
bomb.
Sorry. The one that goes into the corridor. The left one is, the right one is not, which means that deployable shield is going to be a little bit exposed. They're going to actually pick it up because of that. So that's a nice change that they're making. There's be a little bit exposed to that window otherwise. It's actually going to be the smoke playing quite far forward up in VIP with a couple magnets to support him. Looks like the one is going to have that hole to be able to throw some of the magnets through to give that extra support, that extra buffer for that deployable shield. But I'd love to see the Kali coming out to make use of that long line of sight you can get from the top of the building. A fantastic angle through the site with that 12x, should she choose to make the most use of it. But meanwhile, that's going to be the Ace finding the second opening kill. 2 rounds in a row now that the Ace has been able to catch out that one mine. But first, it was the Goyo actually before, but then no mine. But that's going to be a quick double kill once again for the Ace. That's going to be both Rome, or 2 of the Romans down, and challenging the smoke, has to reload, will whip out the pistol. Couple shots, that's down the smoke, and that's a quick triple kill only a minute into the round. Shots coming in through the Vigil, but they will not be able to connect with their target, which means that the Ace is going to be still at 100 HP. That's going to be a 4th gunfight won out by the Ace now. A quadra kill on the round, and the attackers are very quickly barreling towards the site. That just stole the Ace, but it is a flawless round, so I do not think he'll complain too much about that one. Fantastic bit of individual performance there to carry his team through the round and secure their first round win. Every single gunfight he took just went his way. There was nothing that the opponent could do about it. Oh, Spicy Trotsky doing a fantastic job. And it's actually going to be the Montaigne now coming out, so this is a nice little change. The Goyo being shown on the hookah lounge could be swapped off of onto the Wamai to fill in the similar lineup to what they ran before. Actually, be exactly the same as what they ran up on the last time before. But I'd like to see the Montaigne coming out. Very powerful operator. You can really change the way you have to play around him. It's no longer something that you can take a straight up gunfight from. And it's going to be the Wamai, the Goyo swapping last second, but won't be able to actually swap onto anything. So that
Defenders,
could
protect your
be
bombs from being
a
defused by
little bit of an
attackers.
unfortunate mistake, but it might not be. They're getting on with it. So they're sticking with ground. Hopefully, it should work out pretty well for them last time. It worked quite nicely when they were setting up in the kitchen, gave them some nice lines of sight. However, they weren't quite able to make the full use of it due to the strange terrain which that round played out with a very quick and aggressive push from the Ace. I do think Ace goes to show the true power of the AK-12, which Fuse has had the whole time, but as an operator, Fuse is obviously nowhere
10
near
seconds
as you...
remaining.
What's the word I'm looking for?
5 seconds left before insertion. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Oh, we have a crash report. Flexible is what I was looking for. Someone has crashed pretty early on into the round, so will probably be allowed. Stubby Hop breaching in very quickly. We'll see what happens here, but we're going to abandon the match and reset out View and be hopefully right back into the action. The bat, so it was Ash, Jackal, Echo, and Malusi. Those, yeah, kitchen, yeah. So, just waiting for the lobby to be back up again. Nearly all the players back in as they're just joining back underway. Continuing on from round 4, so it will have to be the Huga defense. Not sure what the ruling is on operator selection though. Wonderful, we are underway. So it'll be round 4, Chemical back on the attack. Interesting. So the Blackbeard, that was definitely an auto pick, so we could be seeing that swapped off very quickly. But it's the same defensive lineup coming out from Seven Senses. So we'll just have to see if they decide to make any changes. We did see that clash over there, sticking with the Blackbeard, and actually going to be swapping onto the Iana.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
In fact, I'm pretty sure the viewers do want the Tachanka coming out. Alright. So we basically need to be seeing the same setup coming out now from Seven Senses. You can see if they can successfully hold. There was that lovely push from the IQ through the Aqua Alchemy that nearly worked out very well, pushing in towards the A site. But we shut down very quickly by Maestro, although there was snow on Maestro at the time.
Attackers are heading
Be
out.
interesting to see how they can use their deployable shields to give themselves the best possible advantage in this round. We see the Iana rocking the new holographic.
Loading new mag.
Just taking a couple shots to make sure that the camera goes down properly. So 2 members now trying to clear out the lower office before pushing into Aqua. Just don't want to get caught out. So that's a press on the Maestro. Interesting choices on the attachments here. But they're aware of the push coming in from the Aqua balcony now with the looks like Blackbeard and Zofia chilling on the rappel. It's gonna be Smoke playing in the same position, double checking that there's no ADSs there. They're gonna probably try and use these Zofia explosive blasts at some point, or maybe the frag grenades on the Iana to take out the deployable shield, and that's gonna be caught by the ADS there.
Attackers have located a bomb.
The Iana taking out that window. There's going to be a couple shots coming in onto that smoke by the Blackbeard, but sadly none will hit, and that's usually the Zofia falling very early on to the Maestro. The Alda being put to great work in dismantling the Zofia on that balcony as she tried to push in through the door. A bit of drone work coming out now from Chemical. They're trying to figure out where the opponents are playing. That could be the Blackbeard shield shattering, but he is still alive thanks to interesting operator design as the first toxic babe of the round is going to come out. That's going to be a second kill now as Psy falls. That's the buff going down with the low pressure now gone as a lovely peek over the top is going to find Stubby. That's the Iana gone off board. And a Nitro Cell is going to bring the Blackbeard down to 1 HP as well as finding his teammate. And he'll finally fall to the Alder again. That's suppressed Alder, an absolute machine in this round. Finding 2 kills, the first and the last. And that's going to secure the round for Seven Senses. 3-1 now. A quick reminder that it's a 7 round swap? 7 round swap. Yep. So slightly longer than the normal format, but that's just to give you another round of entertaining Siege viewership. The Montaigne that we saw very briefly before that rehost is going to re-emerge. We can see how that will be implemented.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers. Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
So the only round that Chemical have been able to win away so far was on this kitchen site where they got a very early pick onto that pink barn. And it looks like Sai setting up a drone. It looks like they might try and go for a similar sort of push. Hopefully a little bit more coordinated this time. But it wasn't actually this round they went away. It was this round that I thought they were going to win away. But then, due to some fantastic play from the smoke specifically, shutting down that Ace and Zofia, who both went quite deep into sight. They were able to secure it, but it looks like there's going to be the ADS supporting that Goyo in the same position with the rotate behind him, hopefully being made in a second. And as I say that, there's the smoke. Yep, we didn't see that coming out. Wonderful quick kill coming out from the Vigil, running straight out that door. Kind of worrying that they didn't have that checked, and the default cams are still up. Montaigne looking for a very quick push towards blue. That's going to be another run out from the Vigil, finding a second kill. Villager Rock's really in his comfort zone here, and he's just excelling in this round. First smoke grenade coming out, whilst Toxic Flamethrower coming out from the smoke. There's going to be a little bit of above pressure coming down. That frag grenade's going to be caught out by ADS system that's been put in place. So, slowing down a little bit now. Vigil's still alive on the top floor, and it could be a big problem for the Sledge and Nomad if they're not quite careful. It's going to be the Montaigne running into the top floor to join them, as he's going to check just to make sure they're not caught out on from behind. The Vigil shooting through the wall, but is only going to be hitting the Montaigne's shield, not any flesh. Has that hatch he can drop down to should he need to. Going to just try and make his presence known now. Trying to waste a bit more of that time. Half the round gone. He's been able to get himself 2 kills without anyone on the defense falling to the attackers. So he's going to drop down and just position himself in the pink bar now. Just wait for that stair push to come down should it eventually come. That's going to get a lot of damage done onto the one, and actually a kill found. A lovely bit of rotating through that small hole in the floor from the Sledge to get that kill. That's going to be the first member of 7 Senses to fall in the round. And they'll be hoping it's their last. Here's the drone drop, and she's going to take that out with the shotgun as it comes a little bit closer. Like up close, but it's actually going to be caught out by the SMG-11 in the hand of the Sledge. So it's going to push deeper into the kitchen, find the foot, but it's actually the body of the member he killed earlier. That one might still in place. Goyo and Vigil now a little bit off. All 3 members are off site, and they've given it up completely. It's going to be the Montaigne trying to fall back pretty quickly, but the Nomad will fall down to the Jaeger, not paying enough attention and caught sleeping. Full site control now, at least site control in the service door given up, and that's going to be both explosions going off to give them a little bit of a safe passage in deeper into the site. Montaigne's just going to plant in that service door. A 3v2 now with very little time. The plant goes down, so it's going to be 45 seconds for the defenders to sort something out. Montaigne alive in the post plant is never what you want to see, but looks like they're going to have to deal with it. Sledge hidden away, but his teammate's actually fallen. And he hasn't done anything. He's hidden in the corner. No one knows yet. They think he's outside. This could be a fantastic late game play. He has the ACOG in hand. He's going to find the one tap. He'll have to ace to win the round, and he's got the quadra. Can he secure this last kill? SMG-11 in hand. Peeking out towards the right door. Does the Jaeger know where he's coming? He's going to peek into it, and it's going to be the ace. Sledge securing the ace on the round. Fantastic. Fantastic performance. But this is now 2 rounds where they've had to require players to do a lot on their own to get the rounds. It was a lovely play, though, hiding behind the shelving unit inside of Deep Freeze. You got to give him the credit on that one. Fitness is his passion. Interesting.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So they're going to come back for kitchen now. The VIP is currently locked. I'm going to make a little couple changes. Just try not to let this sledge get that same fantastic play. Montaigne is returning on the side of Chemical. They really want to make the use out of it. It worked well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds to insertion.
The Wamai returning for Goyo was the only other change. Oh, we're seeing a lovely Vitality skin on that Valkyrie. Is it a full uniform or is it just the weapon skin? I'm not too sure. It looks like the full uniform. Yeah, it is the full uniform coming out. Lovely to display. So we've got the G2 one as well in the hands of the Jaeger, I do believe, at the moment. So long angle being held on that window just in case. You never know if someone's going to peek at it or not. Montaigne very quickly taking control of this VIP. Just wants to make sure it's cleared so he can get his team a nice little bit of secured territory on the top floor of this map. You can hear a little bit of commotion on the corridor to his left, he thinks, but there's no one there. And he's going to have to focus towards the Valkyrie hiding in the back of billiards. She's going to check her cams, but it could be a little bit poor timing if the Montaigne tries to walk up. She's going to hold a nice little angle. Looks like the Valkyrie may have her position known by the attackers, but she definitely will now after shooting a couple shots. She rotates through luggage. Her main escape will be trying to get to those white stairs. She can see the Montaigne pushing into the corridor, which might be cutting her off soon if she doesn't act fast. Going to try and find her head across the corridor, but it's going to be the Zofia pushing up quite aggressively and being downed on the bottom floor, I think that is. Yeah, just outside of the blue bar windows. So it's probably from the Jaeger. That's going to be a quick kill from the Valkyrie, and then they will mind picking up a second one. That says that the inches are fearful. Link. There's actually the Nitrocell now coming out from the Valkyrie, doing quite actually not much damage onto the Montaigne. It's going to be still alive, but a quick kill from the Valkyrie to remove. Oh, the Montaigne's going to murder, but to remove the sledge, that's going to be Montaigne coming in for the punch with the Valkyrie, securing the kill for their team. So it's now a 2 versus 4. Lovely little bit of roam play. He's given 50 seconds. But a quick peek over the top shouldn't have been able to do that. That was unlucky from the Nomad to not secure that kill, but really probably should have. There's going to be the smoke leaving the Montaigne in a 1 versus 4, sorry. And he's already rotated around to the other staircase where they knew the Montaigne was coming. That's Toxic Babe coming out just as slow as Root Down. 28 seconds on the clock, 1 versus 4. And 30 HP. Not a lot Montaigne can do in this situation. So he's just going to take a breather, and they're going to have to quickly talk about how they're going to change their attacks on this map.
15 seconds left.
They'll have one more attack to go now.
5 seconds remaining.
Able to secure a last kill for himself before the round is over. A little bit of stat padding. Now, this will be their last attempt at an attack on Coastline for the series. And they'll be really hoping they can finish on a 3-4 split, which is definitely going to be acceptable for 7 senses, but they will be pushing for that 5-2. A very dominant half that would be from them. If they can accomplish this. Spicy Trotsky back on that ace. Maybe we can see another miracle play, but no, he's going to swap to the Habana at the last second. The 2 miracle operators to keep an eye out for are the ace in the hands of Spicy Trotsky and that sledge in the Kasanki. That wonderful ace. But looks like neither of those operators are going to be present in this round. And a return to the gridlock. I think you see this Valkyrie in play. You've got the IQ, but you really got to be careful because if you can't find this, there's a lot of run-out information that's going to be available. And you saw the damage that was able to be dealt
Attackers have located a
by the
bomb.
vigil without any information, just from going off of intuition and what he could hear around him.
Left before insertion. 5 seconds to go. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Going back to their fairly default hookah hold. They've held it twice. I don't see a reason why they shouldn't be able to do it a third time. Sophia now just watching for that long angle, just in case someone goes for that peaky shot through the window.
Reloading, cover me!
Detected a bomb.
Reload!
Scanning for electronic devices.
Arguably spotting out a little bit of gadgetry there, but not going to take that off the board immediately. They're going to have the Habana pets go in, but be very quickly removed by the
Bomb
smoke,
has been located.
who's been sat there over every single round. They should know that this is coming, but they're just going to keep spraying through the window. There's a lot of damage dealt onto the gridlock. Maybe where that was coming from, actually, but when I trade it, I run out from the Valkyrie, going to bring the IQ to very low HP. The fact that this camera has been able to exist with the IQ on the table is the problem I was talking about, why the Nomad is a lot more valuable currently, I feel like, especially in this scenario, than that gridlock. But they're going to have the Zofia on the rappel, watching that window, expecting the run out to come again. Valkyrie thinks, I believe Valkyrie's aware of someone on the rappel, but just isn't quite sure where. Going to slowly back up towards the door.
Activating drone. Loading mag!
Zofia now trying to get a little peek through that hookah window, but won't be able to find one. That was nearly a very nice shot from Thomas. It'll be the Maestro in the meantime, finding the first kill of the round, taking out Sai on that gridlock. A quick refrag though coming out, and that's going to be Thomas. The smoke out of play, down at the hands of the IQ, and that's going to be the Valkyrie removed. That's Zofia on that watch, just catching out the Valkyries to go for the second run out. A lovely swing shot from the back, and that is the Maestro finding the second kill for him on the round. And it's going to be Jaeger joining him on the scoreboard, removing Fargu. So fear that's been very successful this round in closing down the Romas, but a little bit less successful in the previous rounds. But they're now stuck in a 3-2 in favor of the defenders. They've been able to swing this round very quickly. The Kali trying to find someone behind that reinforced wall, but isn't quite able to find that Maestro. The kill for the IQ with J in hands. The reflex sight going to find the Goyo. But with 15 seconds on the clock, the plant going down, but no one supporting it.
Attackers are activating the bomb.
It is going to be stuck behind the couch, but both attackers are going to know where it is. And that's a very quick kill for the Maestro.
Defenders have located the diffuser.
Yeah, you're going to take no damage at all in crossing through those gridlock tracks, shooting him as he goes. And that's going to be a 5-2 split for the defenders. This round was definitely a lot closer
Defender mission successful.
than some of the previous ones, but ultimately, Seven Senses had that clutch factor, were able to pull out those key gunfights, and a lovely couple of shots from Maestro in that round. That swing out from behind the reinforced wall in the middle of billiards to be able to find that upside down Habana on the rappel, mwah, just beautiful. And now the side swap coming out. You see that Valkyrie returning again in a Legion. The Vigil's being swapped off onto the Capcan. Capcan operator, who I personally feel has become a lot more enabled with the new changes to the reinforcement pool. You no longer have to put your 5 traps and your 2 reinforcements down. You can let someone like the Legion, who hasn't really got anything to do, he can just go and reinforce a couple more walls. And you can spread those traps a lot more widely around the map. Gives you a lot more flexibility. So this impact to quickly help the site rotation, but I don't think that's needed. You've got the smoke, who probably has a shotgun in hand. Now it's be interesting to see where he chooses to put down his traps. And now early he's spotted out. So it's actually the FMG9 in the hands of Spicy Trotsky, and that'd be why they need to bring the extra set of impact grenades. Clearly valuing them on the Legion more so.
10 seconds left.
He hasn't as of yet gone too far, but he's outcovered by luggage now with those ChM traps.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb. Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Nice little vault cam hidden on top of that little umbrella to see if anyone notices it. Going for the barricade on the door, not going to run out, just wants to give himself an extra sound cue. Should the attackers choose to rear their ugly head. There's going to be a quick rappel onto the roof, and they're going to try and set up a nice little angle from the southeast corner of the building. Quick kill coming out from Sledge, taking out the Jaeger. Was that inside of the bar? That was inside of the bathroom, so that's unfortunate, but also a little bit of a misplay on the side of the Jaeger. And the big Kassan not too pleased with that. That's another lovely shot from the Zofia this time, finding the head of Psy on that Legion. No more goo mines going to be deployed throughout the round, which is always lovely for the attacking side. It's going to be opening up the back of that hookah, the back of the billiards wall from behind the barge, give themselves a couple more sightlines on the roof as IQ is going to push very aggressively in towards the Aqua and actually win out that gunfight. The Org now with that still having the ACOG, nice little buff to it, giving it a little bit more usefulness over the Commander for that zoom sight. And he's going to find a lovely final shot for a flawless round. Very quick take. Very successful take. And that was perfect timing on that turnaround. As he turns around, the crosshair lined up perfectly. The Valkyrie returning to the lineup. We're finally going to see that mirror in play.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
I think mirror, this is probably one of the more prevalent mirror sights. You've got the nice long line of sight down the service. As well as you can often set one up inside of the kitchen there, looking out towards to give that extra bit of coverage. A bit more support for if you want to play a player inside of the bathroom. I suppose maybe putting one off-site if you want to try and hold a little bit more upstairs, of course, a little bit more problems. You saw how Chemical on their attacks were able to make good use of the sledge upstairs. But there isn't the sledge on the board this time, so that will be slightly different. Instead, choosing to bring that ace.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
So, starting to see them moving up towards the roof again. Trying to take control of this VIP balcony. That's an early ripped nitro from the Valk. It's not going to connect, but it was very ambitious try. It does, however, mean that that nitro cell is no longer going to be available in that round. They're starting to open up the bathroom hatch. They're trying to clear out this top floor first. So it looks like they have a good setup, and they know what they're going to try and do now. Let's see if they can execute accordingly and effectively off of that. Be taking out a drone. This Mozzie is going to be a little bit of a problem if they can't get rid of these pests. But it looks like the drone's been fairly uncontested so far, and it's going to be the Jaeger falling back rotating towards VIP, spotted out, and actually missing that drone, just going to give up. Not going to try and take it out, which I think is a massive mistake here. You've got to try and deny that intel. But that's a mistake from the drone there. You don't jump around corners. It's unlucky, but if you don't jump around that corner, maybe you can escape with your life as the drone. But it's what it is. You still got 2 more drones pushing on that Jaeger, and he's going to be pushed out towards the white stairs. The Valkyrie now is still inside of the back of theater. Couple shots go in from the Valkyrie, in from the Valkyrie and out from Hibana, neither connecting with their target. That's a lovely little angle if you can just line up the crosshair correctly. Was that a one tap from Thomas there? But that Valkyrie has gone down. A lot of damage being dealt into Snow on that Nomad in the meantime though. And the Jaeger just running up the stairs completely carefree, going to be caught up by the Hibana and lose his life because of it. Every single gunfight this round is just going in the way of 7 Senses. Honestly, this isn't looking promising. It's now down to a 2 versus 5, and the hole in the wall, in the floor, sorry, is going to leave it in a 1 versus 5. The ace clutch, the diffuser going down in the end of the service entrance. He won't be able to deny it from this position, and now with the P10, it's the P10 Roni in hand, he's going to have to try and pull off a miracle. Goes for the KD play, but a couple of sprays. Gets sprayed down through the wall and eventually has to back up. Oh no, it's through the door. Gets him in the door. Just caught out. Is that the TSM skin being ripped as well? A lot of skins here on the side of 7 Senses from the new pilot program. You can find that in store. When you go in, under bundles, under recent, or under release, just the full kits, just pick them all up. Ubisoft, give me a job in marketing, please. The IQ coming out, trying to catch out some of these Valkyrie cameras. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more successful than some other attempts we've seen in the last 20 minutes at catching out some Valkyrie cameras, but they weren't punished too badly. Oh.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
So we're returning now to the hookah billiards. They've decided to go back after an unsuccessful kitchen hold and just try and get this one right. The Valkyrie running out very early on, going for an interesting Valkyrie camera toss, but that one will be found ridiculously fast. Hopefully, at least. I mean, IQ's on the other side of the map, so they might be able to get away with it, but it's hidden on that top floor there, so maybe no one is going to look there. That's actually a very interesting camera throw. I think there are probably more successful ways to do it. I think that hookah window and tossing it out of that rather than running out onto that VIP balcony. The same setup coming in again, just going to open that top hatch, drop in and take control of that penthouse. I think this is really good discipline from 7 Senses, doing the same thing every single round. It's going to be the Valkyrie pushed right back into theater again. Deja vu, anyone? A little bit of damage done onto that roaming visual, but still has his life and still has most of his HP, so can't complain too much. Nomad trying to find a nice angle to put that air jab, but sounds like she finally found it. The Vigil's going to be droned out a little bit here. The scanner comes on, which is going to make the attacker's life a little bit difficult. And that drone will finally be taken out. But it looks like the attackers are starting to rotate, ignoring the kitchen after seeing... ignoring the penthouse, sorry, after seeing a little bit of the presence there. But the air jab goes off, and they're now going to be deadly aware of someone who tried to push outside of Aqua. And that is the Jaeger slinking, back into the site. Now rotating and actually going to be dropping into that kitchen hatch. The bathroom. Why am I saying kitchen? Bathroom hatch. Pushing towards the theater, but going to run into the Vigil. The Vigil just isn't paying attention and is going to lose his life. Meanwhile, Smoke is finding the IQ, but the Habana finds a quick set of kills, and the Ace is able to catch up, and it's now the Smoke who found the only kill in the round so far. Finds a second with a shotgun. Can he ace? No, he cannot. Very quickly shut down by the Ace. Double on the Ace, and that's going to be map 1 going to 7 Senses. Let me get a quick check on the scoreboard real quick, just to see what's going on. So actually the kills are very evenly spread amongst the team. It was Bilgerox with 9, top ranking for the game, but very well played. And actually a couple members of Chemical having a slightly lacking performance, but it was very dominant from 7 Senses, so it is unfortunate, but it does happen. And we will be right back with map 2, which I do believe is Cafe. So we will be right back with that one in just a second. And we are back for game 2 of the matchup between Seven Senses and Chemical. Map 1 obviously going in the way of Seven Senses, and it's going to be the Ash taken off the board by Seven Senses. Second map in a row, so that looks like it could be a universal ban. Means we'll probably see the Malusi coming out once again. Chemical, maybe they'll take out the Jackal. I don't think Jackal was a massive problem on Coastline, so them choosing to take that off the board makes me think it'd probably be the same here. But it's actually the Ace saying the interesting usage that operator is able to get, and deciding that for Cafe they want to take a different approach. This is actually really interesting because it means if you want to get some large wall destruction, you're going to need that thermite. And thermite is a lot more exposed when trying to push in towards the bakeries. There's the tables, the small bakery, as well as the prep room, which can often cause a little bit of problems. So I think that's actually a really nice ban on this map from Chemical here. The Echo, once again, very universal ban. Works everywhere, and they're taking out before, they'll take it out again. I think that also makes complete sense. And then we go, there's the Malusi coming in as the final ban. Again, terrible operator to go up against, just really frustrating. And just seeing that off the board, as well as requiring that explosive utility. So I think that's quite nice. I think the Twitch play here is quite interesting, considering Thatcher is still on the table, and I think is more reliable at doing the same job. Oh, well, depending on what you're doing it for, to be fair, there are definitely some values to Twitch. The Blitz hovers being swapped onto that Amaru is trying to get some quick aggression early on, right into the face of Seven Senses, but interesting to see how that works out for them.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Choosing to start in the bakery, but they have that Cade ready to get the back wall and the hatch all in one, so that should be lovely to see that perfectly executed, please. Interesting to see the Valkyrie bring out the deployable shield. I think the deployable shield on Valkyrie is very underrated, and a lot of people forget that she's always had it. They're trying to position it in quite a nice way where they can play back towards that VIP area and cover that back wall at the same time.
10 seconds to insertion.
So this is going to be an extended bottom floor hold
5 seconds
from
left before insertion.
Seven Senses, which I think is a slightly more advantageous way to play across this site. Give yourself a little bit more space, a little bit more flexibility, but we'll just have to see.
Swapping mags.
Amaru with that 2x on top of the G8. Just checking out, making sure it's clear before she jumps her way in. And she will jump her way in towards the pillars. No one causing any immediate problems for her as she pushes down the brown stairs, tries to get a nice line of sight. There's no one there to be found. Someone behind the bar is going to be taken out very quickly. Never mind what I was saying. That's going to be the castle taken out. First kill of the map going in favor of Chemical. Fallen back a long way though, whilst trying to get this out. And that's the Jackal that they banned previously, being used to great effect at clearing out this Valkyrie, forcing her onto the bottom floor. Forgetting that there was that castle barricade there, just double checking is still there, I guess. So it doesn't get caught out on that rotate, but there's no one in position to catch up on the rotate. Look down by the Habana, trying to find that Kide claw. Can't quite catch it, see if the breaching charge will get it, and it will. The hatch will get opened up. The lone hard breach might have to try and rotate. Oh, the nitro cell missing out. As the lone hard breach might have to try and rotate round to get the back of that freezer wall open. But in the meantime, it's going to be a quick couple of kills going back in favor of the defense, catching out Spicy Trotsky on that knock, as well as the Amaru. A couple less common operators in that knock and Amaru, as well as the Twitch all being seen here. But 2 of them are out. It'll be up to the Twitch if they can have a good showing. Build your ox. Bottom of the stairs, toying with the Jackal as they can hear the Twitch preparing to jump into small bakery. Be a nice little rotate coming out from this Valkyrie, but we spotted out by a second scan from the Jackal. Notice size being and that's the Twitch gonna be downed by the smoke. The Toxic Babe coming out, catching that kill. That's gonna be another quick kill from the smoke. Fantastic play on the staircase. I was about to point out, another one coming out from the Valkyrie to find the quick little triple kill very quickly. 2 from the smoke, 1 from the Valk, just to close out the round. Just gonna note, Sai did have that Penku charm, which is a little bit of a waste of a Twitch sub, if you ask my opinion. I feel like if you have Amazon Prime, or you just really feel like supporting the content you love, why not drop a subscribe here? Do you get a charm? Maybe not, but there are so many other wonderful charms in game. I don't think you really need a charm. Support the content you love, guys. Come on. Drop Stein XR6, your subscription today. You can pay me for the plug later, by the way. But getting back on with it, we're seeing the Twitch stick, and it's actually going to be the Ying being swapped off of in favor of the Sledge. Nope, the Habana. Just double checking that they need a hard breach for this one. I think it's very interesting going to the reading site. Big fan of the reading site. Big fan. I think it's an excellent site if you know how to hold it. And with the castle, I think they're going to have a good idea of what they're doing. Barricading off the door towards pillars, just so that no one catches them out on a quick rush. Gives them a little bit more control of the site. And they're setting up on them very aggressively on the top floor. The idea being to stall as much time on the top floor and then fall back to the second floor, which is actually the site, with like a minute left on the round when the attackers don't really have enough time to set up for a proper execute. They will have to have someone watching out for terrain, just keeping an eye on the fireplace so that no one goes in very aggressively, but I think the footholds along the side of the floor with someone in reading should be able to do a decent enough job at slowing down the attack. It's going to be the Valkyrie choosing to set up her cameras. Jackal pushing in very aggressively to the VIP, but it's going to be the smoke waiting at the top of the stairs, just making sure no one comes up too close to him. Not the smoke, is that the mute then? Yeah, it would have been the mute on white stairs than smoke. It's actually going to take that fight on the brown stairs, take a lot of damage, but deal much more in exchange, and it's going to fall back. Still more than half his life, but that Jackal is going to be seriously handicapped for the rest of this round. Can't really take any damage from any source. A friendly Twitch drone would kill him at this point. And that's going to be the Twitch drone just driven recklessly into the Valkyrie, who will take that one. Thank you very much. And a second drone now, but they've found out where she is. They'll now be seeing if they can do anything about where she is. Trying to creep their way now with Twitch, pushing up with that F2 in hand, the IQ on her, on the balcony, but that's going to be a wonderful shot. And that's a swing from the Valkyrie, finding the first and finding the second, the IQ and Twitch going down now. Wonderful bit of play from the Valkyrie, squeezing her way through the attacker's net, catching them off guard. A lot of damage dealt onto Snow, but he's going to find that kill down the stairs. That's going to be 2 gunfights he's had. He's taken the better of out this one, which means that there's 101 HP between 2 members, now down to 1 member with 1 HP. It's going to be the Jackal having to pull up a miracle to prevent the flawless round. As the Toxic Babes come out, they know where he is, can't quite land the connection. One whiff of smoke will kill. Might walk into it by accident, but the Nitro Cell will catch him. The Mute with the toss out through the top will do the job. So now looking at the top floor, we're seeing two new operators. The Pulse hovered before swapping over to the Cav. And the Tachanka. Bring out the Tachanka, boys. Oh, we're going to see the Amaru return. Nope, they're going for Habana. They decide they want a hard break during the round. And there's the Pulse coming out. It will not be the Tachanka that we see.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Activating camera. Camera feed is running. New feed active. ABS is ready.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Reloading.
You're going to see the mirror opening up all the way across the wall into piano there. So it looks like they're going to have a long mirror window.
Insertion.
Just watching that whole section.
5 seconds left.
Reinforcing the wall at the top of the stairs.
Attackers are heading out to
Just going to try and deny that time. And they're going to probably use the bandit batteries. Yeah, there's the bandit running over to it now. Just to really slow down anyone trying to push into piano. And they've got the NDSs to give a little bit of support.
Enjoy the view.
But with the Thatcher still in play, and he's being used, so they might just be able to get rid of that quite quickly and move swiftly onwards. We'll have to wait and see, though. With only the Habana in play, it's going to be interesting how they choose to manage those Habana X-Kairos pellets, whether they choose to try and prioritize those mirror windows, or if they try and get that wall open into piano, which will give them a lot more of a stable footing, which to set up their attack. The first Lance coming out, I mean, I think Carly and a Thatcher, that's a little bit overkill, but it does mean that you can free up the Thatcher to use his utility on different devices, but I think bringing like an Ace...
approaching the kill zone.
Oh no, the Ace is banned, but oh, wonderful run out from the Pulse. Gonna catch out the Nomad actually, so that is 0 air jabs being put in play, and the run out gonna catch, and the Nitro Cell gonna catch. Fantastic play from Easvo to put his team up in the round, but a nice quick refrag from the sledge. That is Kisanki. Gonna quickly take out that bandit. He's now just nervous of someone flanking him.
Drone is ready.
The Pulse has been droned out, I do believe. Just checking for the heartbeat scans, as Habana's going to push quite aggressively now into piano, just trying to make sure that they can catch that Valcam out the way. Aware of someone who might be pushing up the white staircase, just going to be keeping their eyes peeled. Thatcher holding the flank. They have got the Claymore there, but obviously Claymore isn't going to be particularly reliable, especially in the angle it was put. It doesn't cover the whole left-hand side if you're going down, or right-hand side if you're coming up off the staircase. So it's just something to be aware of, that they can still be flanked quite easily if they're not careful. But he's wormed his way up onto the default plant spot and is actually going to start putting that bomb down. Going to run back as soon as he procs the sound. Someone covering him from the skylight base. The Pulse, like I said, that Claymore isn't very effective. Missed out on a Pokemon meme there, but the Pulse is super effective and is going to catch his third kill and a second and a fourth near kill, a fourth effective kill with the injure. Leaving Fargu, if he can't pick up his teammate in that 1v4, still has 1v2, sorry, still has the X-Kairos pellets.
15 seconds left.
But with the mirror windows in 15 seconds, I don't think there's really enough time for him to get anything done, and that's going to be a very quick kill from the Jaeger on the new balcony, on the on the desk on the side, before dropping down by the new balcony. 3-0 now on Cafe Dostoevsky. Obviously, it is a defender-sided map, but winning all 3 of the main site rotation is never promising for the attackers. But hopefully they'll be able to gather a little bit of intel on what 7 Senses are doing so well, and how they can try and combat this and overcome the problems they're running into.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So, going to be a very similar setup coming out from the defense on the kitchen site. The Twitch drone already being taken out not 15 seconds into the prep phase. Well, there goes the value of Twitch. You're now left with the F2 with the 1.5x, but each to their own, I guess. They still have one more drone in pocket, but it's going to be a little bit less effective. IQ hiding her drone inside the keg. It's going to be quite difficult for that keg to spot it now.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Nice hiding of the drone inside of the site. Going to give them some nice intel later, especially with the new ping 2.0 system. They're going to be able to Z-ping out where the defenders are hiding. Very interesting use of the Maverick gadget, getting 2 small holes open. The extra canister is allowing for this to be a thing. Interesting way that they've set up this rotate so the cage can fall back a little bit more safely, but it's also a little bit more exposed from that main door should someone try and hold that long angle. The Twitch drone now coming in, going to catch away that cage claw, so Habana will probably go for opening that hatch once again, but we'll still have to try and contest with the castle and the Cade. And as I say Cade, he bops someone's head. That is the Maverick going out very early, so they're only... Maybe they're going to try and go for a bit of a Maverick trick on that wall with a breaching charge following it, would be my assumption, but isn't going to be able to happen anymore as that operator is off the table. Nice quick drop from the sledge into sight. A couple kills coming out in favor of the defense, though. There's a quick double kill, one for the castle and one for the 8 comes in, but the sledge is going to try and keep the round alive. IQ contesting on that doorway, but there's a couple of different angles which they'll have to fight back, and it's actually going to lose out in the end. Leaving Sankey in the 1 versus 4. He's done it before. Don't give up hope till it's over, but a nice little swing there from the Valkyrie will secure the round in favor of the defense for a nice little 4-0 so far. Quite a dominant half so far. Not a single round being claimed by the second team in this map. But hopefully they can rebuild, come back together, reformed, and turn it around with the ultimate comeback. No change from the first time they held Reading Fireplace from the defense, so we're going to see how this time they can try and adapt their attack.
Attackers
Fingers
need to
crossed a
locate
little
and
bit more
defuse as many
successfully.
bombs as they can.
Razor wire is deployed.
Was unlucky though.
Deploying jammer. Activating camera. ADS deployed and ready to go. 2 feet
located a bomb.
Stay clear of ATS line of fire.
A couple holes in reading rooms so they can hold it from the white stairs and the
10
reading.
seconds left.
Sorry, the fireplace walls so they can hold it from the white stairs and the reading. Lets them not play in such an
Attackers
exposed
are heading
room.
out to defuse a
You still
bomb.
maintain a presence over it to deny the attack, which is lovely. Nice little cheeky Valkyrie camera being hidden quite low down on that wall, but still gives a nice viewing of the repel on the walls to the west and the south. Show some of the main walls where people repel, and a wonderful shot from Villager Rocks. That is not allowed to happen. The quick peek from the top of the piano, and that's going to take out the only hard breach of Fargo. At this point, you got to think the round's over, unless something goes terribly wrong or terribly right. For the terribly wrong for Seven Senses, obviously, and terribly right for Chemical, but Spicy Trotsky just checking through that window, making sure no one tries to sneakily rotate across. Zofia is going to be working on this top floor, trying to clear out some of the gadget. The mute jammer is doing a terrible pain, though, making it a lot more difficult, but they found a way around it. Squad out one of the defenders on top of the bar in the back of Cocktail. I'm going to push up quite aggressively on these bars. Has to watch out for the crossfire potential that is available from the defense. He's now in a very exposed position, so someone shoots a swing from the other side. And that's going to be Valkyrie finding the opening kill, but quickly refrag. This is going to be the IQ with the G8 in hand, finding the smoke. But as I say that, Capital will fall. Other than it's all going in the way of the attackers, something's gone terribly wrong or terribly right. The 1v3 now with the plant going down in reading, I believe. Oh no, just in the corner of fireplace, you can see it there. IQ able to stick it and set himself up in a comfortable position. Castle now a lot of angles to be careful of. Isn't sure of anyone's positioning. Gets caught out by the first opponent he finds. That's what we want to see from Chemical. Very quick triple kill in their favor. 3 kills coming in within the space of 3 seconds, and that really opened the round up, gave them that 3 versus 1 advantage, and they were able to get a plant down and stick the win.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs. Attackers have located a bomb.
Okay, so we can see the top floor setup now coming out from Seven Senses.
10 seconds left.
Very similar lineup, actually. I don't think there have been
5 seconds.
many changes. No Bandit is definitely one, but I think they're expecting the Carly
Attackers are heading out
and
to defuse a bomb.
the Thatcher once again, but neither of them have been bought this time. Instead, going for that double hard breach side, picking up that thermite mantle. Just in the off chance that Fargo gets caught out again by another Valkyrie wild peak. And they're clearly taking their time checking that window, and I don't blame them. Oh, but that's a spawn peak from... No, it's not. Is that spawn? Yeah, that's a spawn peak that's been denied. Unfortunate, but standing on the table and he's being caught out. That's the risk you run. However, last round there was a spawn peek that was successful with the attackers falling, and the defenders, the attackers fell, but they won it anyway. So maybe we'll see the same thing happen here again.
Drone is ready. Heartbeat sensor deployed. Drone activated.
Sensor activated.
So the pulse is also fallen now, so that's the second kill, very close to each other as well, which is telling for sure. There's now 5 versus 3, and they're starting to push onto that site. Taking that freezer control, didn't fully check the hole, and there was actually a player in freezer, in laundry, who was able to catch him out there. That's the Goyo finding that kill. Now as we see how the ADS can save Bill's life for, as the shield will explode, and Jaeger will be injured now by the Habana, finally killed up. So it's a 4 versus 2 for the attack. Make that a 3 versus 2 as Snow on the Valkyrie is able to find a very quick kill onto one of the attackers. Just missed a kill in white, but will swing perfectly onto 2 in Bar, leaving in a 2v1. One of those kills cancelled by the team kill, but it'll be the Thermite pushing very aggressively into sight, and he's actually been able to take control. Doesn't have the diffuser in hand, but with a mirror window at his availability, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for this Goyo to contest. Only 20 seconds, though, and they know where the diffuser is, and he's going to have to push for it. He just doesn't have to take these long-range gunfights. He'll just have to wait. Bomb in hand, running back into sight. He can't get off. He needs to push. And he knows that the plant's going down. He has the information. He just has to wait for 1 more second. The diffuser goes down. The timing was just off. The Thermite's going to be able to rotate behind him. And will win out. Wonderful clutch from the Thermite there, sorry. A little bit of ring around the rosies before finally the kill will come in. Returning to the kitchen, but had the smoke on the boards. The castle's pretty indicative of them going to the bottom floor, though. They've done it both times so far. We could see another 5-2 split, which would certainly be impressive. And there's the Cade coming back on the board, so it's going to be the same lineup run back again.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Each time they've made a small, slight tweak to fix towards the attackers, so we didn't see what the changes this time. Drone's coming in very aggressively, and that's going to be only 1 going down, it looks like, which is... I mean, but there were 3 right in the doorway, but Sledge wants to look at the site as well. He's going to lose his drone, so, you know, throw them all away, I guess.
All reinforcements nearly done. Claw is active.
Doorway barricaded.
10 seconds to go.
That's 3 drones, or is it maybe even 4 drones that have gone down now in this prep phase, which, you know, isn't fantastic.
Attackers are
In
heading out to
potential
defuse the
intel
bomb.
gathering tools just thrown away, but and well, thrown to the points, feeding the point scores of the other team.
ChM in position.
Double checking that window once again. They're really scared of that now, and it's done a good job at slowing them down. I mean, 5 seconds. But it was certainly a wonderful kill for us to witness. Pushing for this middle floor now, trying to see what's going on, but the Valkyrie's actually hidden away on the top floor, so there's no one going to be contesting that. So if they're not careful, there'll be a wonderful flank later on from Builder Rocks coming in at some point. is going to be the Valkyrie falling backwards onto the white stairs, just making sure that she knows where people are. Spots someone. That's a wonderful wallbang. Injuring the Habana. Is going to check the cam again just to make sure that ping 2.0 is the reason that's able to happen so cleanly. But is now aware of the sledge coming from behind him with the nade in hand. Going to throw it out. No damage dealt. Valkyrie's already backed up into a safe distance. Is getting ready for round 2. Pings coming out from teammates. They're just gonna. But it's actually caught out by a player waiting for them to come up the top white stairs. That is sight on that Capital. Patience is a virtue, and that's gonna be 3 kills coming in very quickly for the attackers. Make that 4, leaving it a 3 versus 1. Can Locust come up with some magical moment here? The Capital is so close. The plant is going down in the site. He's not quite aware of this moment as the range is a little bit too far for him to hear. The Capital thinks he's on site somewhere. He's just going to miss the Capital. Just missed the second player as well. And it'll be the Zofia taking a quick peek around the corner and finding that last kill. Secure round 7. 4-3 split. So it was a lot stronger in the first half than the second half. We're seeing the kitchen come, so both teams really liking this kitchen, as well as the Valkyrie being on the table. Mute coming out into play, and the Thatcher's being brought. So there's a nice array of operators that we're seeing. The Thatcher, the Thermite, the Habana. The double hard breacher just, I think it's very strong on the kitchen site. And if you're expecting the kitchen site, I think it's just a safe bet. And I think IQ for the Valkyrie,
Attackers need to
fantastic.
locate and defuse bombs.
And the Zofia just to round out the comp nicely.
Wall reinforced!
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Device placed.
10 seconds to go.
Ready to activate.
Be interesting to see where they choose to place these mirror windows, especially as you can sometimes see one in the bakery, but then with the hole next to it, there's a player playing behind the counter, but they're not choosing to opt for that one. The hatch being done, it will get done, but it'll be done a little bit late. It's a nice angle he's been able to find there over the top, just trying to check if there's anyone on that counter, maybe try and catch them out. Cheeky angle they might not be aware of. But there's no one there currently for them to go, although the Mute is going to walk into the gun line and take a lot of damage for it. He'll fall back to site. Still alive. So they've got a double mirror window on that bakery wall. Interesting. At the very least, they've opened one up to give themselves a nice little angle of sight to play with. EMP not quite in the right place to catch out that Mute jammer, and that's going to mean they're going to need a second one. So, a little bit of point usage. Okay, Mute isn't going to be able to swing with the Nitro Cell. It'll be the mirror window finding the first kill. The Mute just standing on top of the Havana pellet. Should have taken a bit more damage. It's kind of lucky to escape with his life still. But Thatcher had fallen, and now the Havana nearly walking into the same line of sight. But we're catching all the action here, as that's the Valkyrie going down on the brown stairs by the Zofia, but the Jaeger is going to come in for a double kill and really put his team back into this one.
See you on the other side. Changing mags.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Habana finding a quick kill, making this 2 versus 4 to a 2 versus 3. Trying to get a little bit of intel on where they're going to try and set up their push before they make their attempt. Hasn't found anything, but just trying to get some warning shots, try and maybe catch out someone if they're a little bit unlucky, but no one's peeking out too aggressively. They're playing quite reserved, and they're playing quite slow and effectively, in all honesty. One set of Habana pellets still available to the Habana, but not really able to get anything off of it.
15 seconds left.
A lot of the main walls are still down due to that Thatcher, but the mirror's going to peek around, and that's going to catch off the Habana. Sophia changing her route, being picked off very quickly by the smoke, the mute, sorry. So it's now 4-all. The cap can coming back out wasn't particularly effective on coastline, but maybe on cafe with a couple more enclosed corridors, some tight rooms could be quite a pain to deal with. The Mozzie trying to sixth pick right at the end there, but isn't successful.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Choosing to go to the top floor and not to reading. Top floor still a good site. I mean, there are 3 pretty good sites on this map, which is why it's often considered defender-sided. What is it?
Doorway trap. You can stop worrying about grenades now.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, yeah.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Device primed. Keep an eye on door.
Attackers objective.
Might
is
reset
defuse
after the
bomb.
round.
Did it in style. Wall's done. Let's deploy the waiting target.
Spotting out that Valk can that's been thrown there a couple times by them, so they have to spot it out quite quickly, almost expecting it. No spawn peaks coming out this time. Well, there's a couple of shots coming out, but not, nothing too threatening. More of an invitation, really, but that's gonna be a drone caught on a pest. Side just falling back, so we can try and position that in a more advantageous position for himself.
Bomb located.
See the drone coming up, recognize it as the Mozzie drone, and that's going to drop very fast. Saw the flashing white light on it. Oh, nearly. Looks like he nearly saw someone at the bottom of the stairs, but maybe that was just my imagination. Yeah, that was just my imagination. A lot of damage being dealt onto Stubby, taking that's from the skylight there. As he's standing a little bit exposed to the doorway. That rotation hole's really hard to make right. Although I think a Vault one normally works quite well. Nitro Cell coming off and not really connecting with anything, which is unfortunate to say the least. That's going to be a quick kill onto the Habana. That's going to be the Jaeger making the most of the situation. But the IQ, sorry, with the FF2 in hand is going to quickly pull back that kill. Habana done the majority of her job, getting some of that wall open, but sadly won't be able to do anything else with her guns. Is that wall even open? I think it is on the left-hand side.
The attackers bombed
Nitro Cell, a bit ambitious from the Valkyrie, not going to hit anyone. It's actually going to have the frag grenade coming in, and at the same time, Mute will be injured. Yeah, that was injured from the frag grenade that came in through that window, which tried to drop from the hatch. Unfortunate, but if he hadn't dropped, maybe he would have been dead. The Jackal scan, spotting out this Valkyrie where she stands. Capcan spraying in, and that's going to be a quick kill. Pull back to the 4 versus 3 now.
Reloading.
Wonderful shot from the Valkyrie, from the Mozzie, sorry. Getting thrown off by the spectator bug currently, but it is in fact the Mozzie that got that wonderful swing shot onto the player on minibar. 2v4 now as the mute's finally picked up, but instantly dropped by the Zofia. Both of them in pretty close proximity to that
10 seconds remaining.
Mozzie, but they're going to pick up the kill. Nearly finds the second, reloading, they're going to get a bit of time if the IQ breaching through. And he's going to try and set down that plant. They're going to try and cover it now, but the Capcan trap is going to deny it. The plant is stuck though. 2v1. Can Snow on the IQ clutch out the round?
Attackers need to protect the diffuser. Position compromised.
Nearly saw the Valkyrie there. Unfortunate as he swung across his line of sight. Can hit. Oh, a lovely little angle by the Valkyrie. Catched out the Capcan at top of white. The Valkyrie pushed at the perfect time as he's reloading. And that's going to be the round secured by Chemical.
Defenders disabled the diffuser. Defender mission successful.
If it's not, we rehost. They called out the elite skin, and that is going to be swapped off. The correct play there is to wait until you spawn in the round and then claim it for your free round win. But, you know, you could be a good
Attackers need
sport
to
and
locate and defuse
inform
as many
your
bombs as
teammate
they
of their illegal procedures.
Loading mag!
Attackers have located a bomb.
Camera feed up and running.
Deploying ADS. ECD prime. That's controlling razor wire.
10 seconds to insertion.
Interesting setup coming out from the defense.
5 seconds.
Fairly standard, but they're choosing to stick with that Capcan. It did, to be fair, save them a little bit with that Capcan trap catching out Zofia, but I think that was more down to time. If you can stall the time down, that Capcan could be deadly on site.
Repelling hostile. ADS deployed.
I think it's particularly effective in the door where the Capcan caught out Lance Zofia before because of how the corridor is positioned. You have to swing right round to be able to catch the Capcan on the left-hand side of that door. But you see here the Valkyrie setting up a reinforcements. Quick double kill now from the attack. They decide that they want to start winning some rounds back. And a quick double kill is probably the best way to do that. It's going to give them control of the top floor now with no more defenders up there. And that's a quick third kill from Aviso. And a fourth from the Zofia of Lacoste. Well, that's a flawless round while I'm trying to pronounce that. So maybe we'll see a quick finish to this map. A very nice turnaround there. to bounce back with a flawless round, 7 senses jumping straight back in. 5-5, 3 rounds in a row. Can they do it? I can see the 3 rounds at back to back. They've hit their stride now. They're fired up. They're gunning for it. Kitchen service coming back out again. Let's see how they can adapt to this. They lost it last time that they attacked on this site. The Chemical will be hoping for a repeat of their successful defense.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
New camera feed up and running. Ready? Signal rocket.
Reload!
Activate jammer. Cam in position. Feed up and running.
Eagles out!
10 seconds left before insertion.
Set device!
Jammer activated.
5 seconds to insertion.
Good looking, baby.
Set device!
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Moving for electronics.
Launching drone.
Device placed.
They're pushing from the Christmas market again, just trying to double check that this middle floor is all cleared out. There's no one posing an immediate threat to them, but they can focus on trying to open up the wall into kitchen, set up for a default plant spot by those cookers. They have the IQ, but they're going to have to try and get that IQ into position upstairs to remove these mute jammers so they can start to open up the walls. The double mirror window is back again.
Reloading!
Attackers dropped the diffuser. Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Couple quick shots from the Valkyrie coming out towards that window, just trying to scare anyone from vaulting in, but still on the IQ. Shows no fear, and he's going to pay for his life because of it. The nitro cell coming out a little bit late there, but it doesn't matter. They got a kill out of it. And that's going to be the nitro cell hole being used to shotgun Easvo as he comes in, and that's going to be finally the Valkyrie being taken down by the Habana.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
But that's the thermite down.
Swapping mags.
Make a new door. Just a little prick. As my friend would say, a really big fucking hole coming right up. Nitro set. Changing mags!
Changing mag!
A bit of damage done now onto Sai on that bandit. So trying to clutch up this 2v4. They find the first kill. Habana, a couple trades down, is going to find the second, but ultimately fall to the third.
5 seconds left.
Zofia,
Attackers have located a bomb.
3 seconds to get the last kill. They're sitting in the corridor, but he sprints and can't quite get the site, and he's going to lose it out. 6-5 in favor of Chemical.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Activating camera.
ATS active in this sector.
Bomb located by attackers.
ATS up and running.
Camera activated.
Setting needle candy.
10 seconds to go.
Feed up and running.
5 seconds to insertion.
Detonate.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
I'm reloading. Adding overwatch. Enemy spotted! Swapping mags!
Activating drone. Scanning for electronic devices.
Enemy spotted. Magnet will watch over us. Magnet ready.
LED active! Deploying LED scanning.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Scanning for devices and traps.
Drone active. I need to reload!
Scanning for devices and traps.
Throwing magnet. Ready for grenades.
Grenade out!
Ammo.
Reloading, cover me.
Target flashbang. Magnet activated.
Loading mag! Shot clock go live!
Come on, you're okay.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Razor wire is deployed.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Activating camera.
ADS deployed and ready
Ready
to
to
go.
barricade.
Reloading, cover me.
10 seconds to insertion.
Feed up and running.
Activating jammer.
5 seconds left.
Talking set.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Camera activated.
Feed up and running.
Sweeping for electronic.
Deploying ADS. Whoa, I'm dry!
Attackers have located a bomb.
Activating drone.
Loading mag.
Scanning for electronic devices!
Activating jammer.
Drone activated. Enemy located.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
The little prick.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser. Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Cover me! Reloading!
Swapping mags.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Reach up. Position. Going live.
15 seconds remaining. The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Razor wire going up.
New camera feed up and running.
Reload. Ball reinforced.
10 seconds to insertion.
Reinforce the wall!
Place device.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Device placed.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Activate.
Now you go.
Activate camera.
Time for some home improvement.
Reinforcing the floor.
Ready.
Loading mag! Hostile located. Second floor.
Going live.
A bomb has been located.
C4 set!
Time to ring some ears.
Stun grenade out.
Attackers bomb diffuser has been dropped. Attackers located a bomb. Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers. Bomb located by attackers.
Cam in position.
Artillery is on.
Ten seconds to insertion.
Take carpet around that.
5 seconds left.
My artillery is on. Stay clear of ATF line of fire.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Reloading! Cover your ears.
Reloading.
Beeping for electronics.
Добро пожаловать на выставку железной дороги. Россия – крупнейшая в мире страна. Наличие огромной территории.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Detonate.
15 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Magnet will watch over us. Razor wire going.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
ATS deployed and ready to go. ATS line of fire.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
Sending magnet. Magnet activated.
Reloading! Activate control.
been located.
We are now protected. We are protected. Throwing frag grenade.
Добро пожаловать.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.